Open Town Council meeting. Would we all please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance?
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Welcome everyone here tonight. A good crowd as usual. First order of business is approval of the minutes. You've all had a chance to read that and go over it. Any corrections or additions? You good?
Thank you, good.
Stands approved. Report of the town manager, Mr. Warner.
Thank you, Mayor Stanley, members of council. March is Youth Art Month. In cooperation with Bedford County Public Schools, the Town Public Works Department has installed banners on the downtown light poles displaying artwork by local students throughout the district. Also want to follow up, as I mentioned at the February 17th meeting, the town received a $3.5 million bill for power purchase through AMP. A significant portion of that bill was attributable to the effects of the winter weather we experienced for an extended period of time. In effect, the town paid $1.2 million more in purchased power costs than what was billed to customers during the month of February. We received an offer from AMP to finance $1.2 million of that cost at an interest rate of 4.6%. However, to avoid additional costs related to interest, retain interest earnings on the cash within the fund, and preserve debt capacity for long-term strategic needs, we have proceeded with payment of the full bill using electric fund cash reserves. Also want to let everybody know we are working to schedule a public meeting to both share and gain information about the electric utility to be facilitated by a representative from AMP. We are tentatively looking at April 14th as a possible date, but we will provide confirmation of that as soon as we have it. And that concludes my report.
Well, thank you. Any comments, questions? We're good. Appearances before council. We have a couple. The first one is Bill Mosley. Come up, name, address, and you will have 3 minutes.
Good evening, council members, and I appreciate the opportunity to speak before you for a minute. We have had something very troubling happen in the past week, actually a week ago tonight, that I want to call to your attention. In fact, let me start out by saying my name is Bill Mosley, 618 Westview Avenue, Bedford. I'm here representing my company, Proprietors Group of Bedford, as well as myself and my family. My company deals with housing issues throughout the town. We operate a number of units, and we try to keep them to be affordable housing units. I sent an email to each of you over the weekend, and I'm curious, detailing what I want to talk about tonight, I'm curious if you all can tell me if you received those and if that email and if you read it.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. I also sent it to Jim Messier as head of the Housing Authority here in Bedford, and to Bart Warden. Last Tuesday night at the Board of Supervisors meeting, which of course is the same date that we used to be meeting on, just a reminder, Supervisor Bob Davis said that in talking about the proposed affordable housing plan for Bedford County, he declared that the units would be filled with the scum of the earth. And specifically said they would be Somalian men who were brought here for the very reason of destroying us, raping our women and children, and murdering us. Does that offend anybody? This man represents half of the town of Bedford in the Bedford County Board of Supervisors. The town of Bedford operates probably, as far as I know, the only subsidized housing in this county. This is talking about the very people that live in our community, saying that they are the scum of the earth. At a previous candidates forum, prior to his last election, I submitted a question to all of the panel that were there, all of the candidates, asking them about the question about affordable housing. Mr. Davis's response, if people can't afford a $300,000 house in Bedford, well, they just need to go somewhere else. We don't need them. That's what he effectively said. We have a comprehensive plan that we've been working on for well over a year now, and it has some lofty goals, and it declares what we consider to be important to be a healthy, thriving community. His statements fly in the face of everything we just put in that comprehensive plan. If his attitude and his ideal for this county go through, I don't know how we justify that with our comprehensive plan. I don't get it. I'm hopeful that that council will speak as one voice in denouncing this man, in denouncing every word that he spoke that night. His hateful, racist rhetoric should not be allowed to stand and go unchallenged. And if we don't do it as a group, who's going to? My standing up there in front of the Board of Supervisors ain't going to mean a damn thing. I'm just one voice out of 80,000 people in this county. But somebody needs to stand up to him, and I think as a mass, this council needs to say, no, this is not okay. You do not speak for us. And you need to say it soon. Memories are short. You know, if you wait several weeks to talk about it and then mull it over and then wait another couple of weeks to vote on it, it's probably too late for it to matter. So I urge you to please do something about this matter. Do not just let it go unchallenged. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Andy Long, come on up. Name, address, and whatever's on your mind.
Good evening. Anne DeLong, 1512 Clearview Road. I wanted initially to reiterate my request for an information session on the electric bills and the structure of the costs. I understand now from Mr. Warner that there will be an information session on potentially April 14th. I am sorry that that's taking 4 months or 5 from the time people have been experiencing these bills and having questions to happen, but I am grateful that it will be happening and look forward to the information that will be provided. The other electric-related issue I wanted to raise is that we have not received our bills for this month. Quite a few people have not, myself included, and mine is due in a week, so I have no idea how much I'll be paying. If you go online, you can get the total bill, but that does not provide the breakdown. And it appears that self-service portal is not working on the Customer Connect website, so that you can't see your bill or the breakdown. I just wanted to make sure that council is aware of that and the town is aware of that, and I don't know if there's an explanation for that, but I would hope to receive my bill before it's due, otherwise I won't know how much to pay. Thank you.
Thank you. Ann, would you want to address that about the bills, please?
Certainly, yes. There was an error that occurred with our billing and mailing company. We have been notified that the bills should start being mailed today. However, I have discussed with the town manager that we will not be charging a penalty because of the mailing error.
So they will be on the way. Thank you, Ann. All right, council comments. Dave, what do you have for us?
Thanks. Well, Bill had mentioned something that I did want to kind of address because it did kind of set wrong. Well, obviously it set wrong with me. Just looking at how affordable housing is set up, it goes across, it goes to median income or household income. And I pulled up what is for the area. We fall under the Lynchburg support area, whatever it is. And then also looked at our budget. But in the front of it, it has some demographic information, and the the median household income in Bedford is about a little over $47,000. And so if you know what median is, median basically, I had to look it up actually, even though I've gone to college and stuff. Median is, you know, half the people earn less than the median and half the people earn more than the median. And so half the people in Bedford actually qualify for affordable housing. And so to blanket characterize folks as, you know, this was characterized, I'll just go on the record, in my personal opinion, is wrong. And so I wanted to say that even before, you know, Bill brought it up. Also, as Ann was talking, I know it's been 4 or 5 months since possibly that we're doing a public forum, but when we had several meetings before council even raised our electric rates to explain to citizens what we were doing, and we didn't have a lot of participation. So I'm not saying that's a good thing, bad thing, or whatever, but I do think that we did do our due diligence trying to let the public know that it was going to go up. It was a perfect storm with the rate increase, plus the billing that we were getting from PJM and AMP or whatever, and the frigid weather we had. So that's all I got to say, sir.
I'd like to welcome everybody here tonight, and especially, you know, watching by YouTube, and I get a lot of comments back. And thank you, Bill, for your comment. I almost went to that meeting last Tuesday. It's a good thing I didn't. I might have said some things I would probably regret. Yes, and but again, you got to remember where the source come from, and that's I'm not a big fan of him anyway. But that's beside. Also, I'd like to give a big shout out to the Liberty High School girls. They're going to Big Stone Gap for their regionals, and I think they got a good send off from the Bedford County Sheriff's Office. They got a nice little escort send off today out there. And the other thing, I was kind of saddened by the closing of the hospice house. I've heard a lot of comments. I've talked to the doctors and a lot of the workers, a lot of people that participated there, and I was really saddened that happened. But maybe, you know, we can work together and find another provider there. But again, welcome everybody.
I think again, thank everyone for being here. Really like it when we have people in the seats here. We work better when we have, you know, input from our citizens, and just glad you're here. Glad that we have the opportunity to broadcast and rebroadcast this on social media and YouTube and stuff. You know, anything that you need to tell us, you know, please let us know. Your opportunity to speak with us is not confined to this particular meeting or any particular meeting. I don't know how many times I've stopped at Walmart, Food Line, you know, in a parking lot somewhere, somebody wants to run something by me, and that's, you know, that's kind of what we're here for. And you know, we're probably able to spend more time addressing your concern in those impromptu meetings than we have, you know, here at this formal meeting. But again, we're here for you. We just need to know what your concerns are, and if you've got a suggestion on how to you know, meet that goal or meet that need that you have, let us know. Stacy.
I just want to say I appreciate everybody being here tonight. Thank you, everybody, for coming. Thank everybody for their inputs. You know, comment was brought up and comments made by other government boards. You know, we can't control what they said. But, you know, the whole point is there is affordable housing in Bedford. We got about 83 to 8,500 citizens live within the town limits in a 10-mile radius. So don't say that we don't have people or have affordable housing in Bedford. Like I said, comments are made like that. You know, there's people that don't understand common sense. flags, if y'all notice all the flags up down West Main Street, East Main Street, they was put in from the Bedford County Schools. So I hope y'all seen that. They look pretty nice out there. And then just thank everybody for coming, always giving the input. We have some good crowds lately, so keep it up. Have a good evening.
Thank you all for being here, and thank you for your input at these meetings, and thank you for your input when we're not here, when you see us in public. First, I wanted to say I've been a police officer here for a long time and retired. We do have 5 subsidized housing units in the town, and I spend a lot of time in those areas interacting with the kids and helping to entertain them and being there with them so that they can have have a better relationship with the police officers. So I don't like those comments that were made. I think they're off base. Our citizens who live in those housing units are good citizens of our community, and we need to hear from them also. So I don't like those comments. The other thing that I wanted to mention is something that Councilman Foster mentioned last council meeting of the Fair Representation Voting Act. So we want everybody to review it and make their best votes with it. My view is this will disenfranchise suburban and rural areas of Virginia. But review it yourself and make your own informed decision so you can vote on it. Because early voting starts on March 6th.
I want to thank everybody for being here tonight. Bill, we appreciate your input on that. And I think we all here agree that that was wrong and uncalled for. But like they said, we can't control everybody, and opinions are like what we're all sitting on. So it is what it is. We just have to learn to turn our head with that one. And we appreciate you coming up tonight and giving your input on the light bill. I know there's been a lot of people worried about the light bill. Also, I want to bring up a couple weeks ago, I had the opportunity to go to the Pregnancy Center Bingo. If any of y'all has ever had a chance to go to the Pregnancy Center Bingo, it's a really good event. Y'all should give it a try. They have it once a year. It's their biggest fundraiser. And you'll have a good time with that one. And we appreciate y'all being here. And me and Leslie did not plan this again.
I was going to say different color, yes.
We just know we're the best place to shop.
Yeah, good deal.
We shop local.
Yeah.
Very true. Yeah, Clinton's got one like that also. Yeah. Again, I'm like all of them here. Thank you for coming out. Bill, Ann, thank you for your comments. These are concerns. Of course, electric bills, we know how that is. Having worked in that business a good part of my life, for me, it's not anything unusual. When we've had the temperatures we've had in teens and single digits, you see that now. There have been other factors that come in now, but as the town manager said, we are working on having a representative from AMP come in and explain in more details all the moving wheels that go into all this and what causes the power to be as expensive as it is for us to buy. It is a lot of things that we have to deal with. Mr. Wagner does a great job. He is on the AMP board. He advises us as to what's going on and what to expect, but so much of it is out of our control. But we are setting up a meeting that during the week, I believe, right now, April 14th, and they'll hopefully explain things, and they'll have a Q&A, question and answer, anything that you may want to ask. Also, Bill, I appreciate what you said. To be perfectly honest, I don't read a lot on Facebook. I don't feel like I need to know a lot, or social media. No, I don't read much of that because it's an opinion page. But I have heard comments about that. I have heard what Mr. Davis said. But at the same time, I don't agree with it. It's his opinion. And as one of the councilmen said, consider the source. No, I don't like it that he is one of our representatives, so what does that say? We have none. But again, though, I don't like it, I don't agree with it. He has his right to say what he did, as we have our right to say what we did. And that's where we are. We all do not like it, don't approve of it, but I don't, I'm not getting in the middle of any squabble like that, and I don't think any of the rest of us are. See ya. So, and obviously, I'm not saying what everybody wants to hear, but we can only control what comes out of this council's mouth, not anyone else. So, and that is all I have to say. Report of council committees, Mr. Updike.
Okay, this evening we had a meeting of the Streets Committee. For years, the city and the town have been putting up banners, specifically in the Centertown area, and they are anywhere from military base to folks that had some type of historical, connection to the town. And but as far as the town is concerned, we've really had no guidance, no written policy about how to implement those things. Well, as time has gone on, the justification for the banners and stuff, it just keeps building. So we're at a point now where we have to set some protocol, set some policy about how we're going to manage those things in the future. There are this is another aspect where we would really appreciate citizen input. It's everyone's community, and we kind of want to hear from you guys. And we've got a group of individuals that are trying to meet together, and they all have some varying differences of opinion on things, and they're going to come up with a proposal and bring it towards to council or to the Streets Committee, and we'll move from there. But that's we're still in the fact finding, information gathering phase of this. But certainly, if you have any input, we would like to hear it.
And more to come.
And more to come.
Thank you. Revisions to the agenda, there are none that I'm aware of. No public hearings. Consent agenda, appointment of members, local board of building code of appeals.
2 members' terms on the local Board of Building Code Appeals expire on April 30th, 2026. All are current members who have agreed to continue to serve on the LBBCA for an additional 2-year term. Tonight, council is requested to reappoint LBBCA members as follows: James Rose and Jody Mayhew, both to 2-year terms to expire on April 30th, 2028.
All right, do I hear a motion?
So moved.
Second.
All right. Councilman Haley and Councilman Foreman. I think it's pretty cut and dry. Charlotte?
Mr. Evans?
Aye.
Mr. Foreman?
Aye.
Mr. Foster?
Aye.
Mr. Haley?
Aye.
Mr. Ippolito?
Aye.
Mr. Updike?
Aye.
Mayor Stanley?
Aye.
Motion carries with all members voting aye.
All right, no old business, new business. Award a contract for professional services for the proposed rail stop. Mr. Warner again.
Over the past several months, staff has been working through the competitive procurement process to select a consulting engineering firm to conduct initial work for the proposed rail stop. Scope is for NEPA environmental work and preliminary engineering tasks awarded to the Federal Rail Administration CRISI grant. Of the 9 proposals received and evaluated for project approach and relevant experience, there was one respondent offerer that was clearly more highly qualified and suitable than the others under consideration. This was confirmed in a formal interview process of 3 finalist firms. Through the evaluation and interview process, AECOM emerged as the most qualified firm. The request for proposals stated that a contract may be negotiated and awarded to the offerer that was more highly qualified. The contract consists of an agreement for services and includes all provisions in the RFP and the respondent's proposal. The fee is set in the grant award. The Contract would go through July of 2027. And in terms of the established priorities of council, this would relate primarily to downtown revitalization and economic redevelopment. Tonight, Town Council is requested to grant approval for the town manager to enter into a contract with AECom for professional engineering and contract services based on the RFP.
All right, do I hear a motion?
So moved.
Mr. Mayor, I think,
And there will be discussion.
Well,
I was gonna think me and Ms. Zirkle both had points that we wanted to make with regard to it, but you go ahead, I don't want to interrupt
you
proceedings.
know, I was going to bring up the discussion, but is that okay?
Sure.
Okay.
We have to amend the motion to adopt
You're not going to
based
change
on any
anything
change.
on us, are you?
Yes.
Well, we were going to request, there is one clause
Okay.
that has to do with risk sharing, particularly indemnification, which is still being hammered out between my office and the general counsel for AECom. And consequently, we would ask you to approve, and you have the exact section number near at hand, right, Mary?
18.1 is the section that we're working through.
That we're still hammering away at. So we would request that you approve the scope of work, the price, and the substance of the terms and conditions, with the understanding that there is this final, what happens if there is a situation where we get sued and we're looking at AECom for having created the lawsuit, and how much risk gets sent to whom, that we're still arguing about, and that we anticipate having done. I thought we were gonna have it done yesterday, but it still hasn't been done as of right now.
All right, with all that said, now what kind of motion are we going to make? Just a motion, we approve it, subject to
Section
18.1?
Subject to section 18.1 being resolved to the satisfaction of the town manager and the town attorney.
Okay. All right. I make a motion that we approve all of this, except section 18.1 being subject to approval by town manager. Second?
Second.
Okay. Now we can have the discussion, now that we've read all through this, and now it's being changed, so we can talk about it. Discussion, comments? This is mainly the firm that was at your staff meeting. We're giving them the okay, just,
No, this relates to the passenger rail station.
oh, I mean, I'm sorry, yeah.
And just as a refresher, we did receive a grant through cooperation with our local congressman's office to move forward with pursuing an Amtrak stop here in Bedford.
Yeah,
The required next step is to do some environmental engineering and design work as part of that grant. This would fund that activity.
okay, so with that, okay, so we're just making sure we're not being sued if it comes to that.
So there's another step after this one.
Yes. Next step is to find some money.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right,
The
now
big, the big next step is to find some money.
Yeah.
Now we got to,
Big step.
I'm just,
after reading all that,
yeah, I'm just glad that we're still moving forward with this. This is,
Yes.
I think this is important phase for the town, and just glad to see it moving in the right direction.
So I have one question. Is the other two parties gonna be involved with this, or just us in general?
I'm sorry, what other parties are you?
You know, that when this first started years ago or whatever, Bedford County and Franklin County was involved with us to secure a rail stop. So are they still gonna be involved with this process, or is it just gonna be us involved with this process? Just ask that question.
We are still engaged with our neighbors to talk about those next steps, but the town is the fiduciary agent for the grant itself.
Okay.
And we have already committed the funding for the match related to this activity.
Okay, thank you.
so we are making progress.
We're clearing hurdles. I don't know if that's the same thing or not. I'm sorry, that's the best answer.
Well,
It's just a necessary step,
Yes.
environmental compliance.
if we're clearing hurdles, then I guess
Yeah, if we're clearing hurdles,
we're
that's moving forward.
Moving forward. And what you have?
I've
think the town's local share is 375, well, I'm sorry, you have that information.
Yes, sir. So this is information that we've had out there along through the whole process of this when we applied for the grant and then received the grant. This information has been made public throughout that process. We received a grant of, let's see, the total amount of the project was $1.85 million, I believe, and we were required to put in 20% of that, and we have allocated $375,000 as part of the town's match for that 20% federal funding.
Thank you, Mary. Anything else? All right, Shonda.
Mr. Foreman.
Aye.
Mr. Foster.
Aye.
Mr. Haley.
Aye.
Mr. Ippolito.
Aye.
Mr. Updike.
Aye.
Mr. Evans.
Aye.
Mayor Stanley.
Aye.
Motion carries with all members voting aye.
All right. Budget amendment for sale of surplus assets to Public Works and Maintenance Supplies. Mr. Warner.
The town recently disposed of surplus equipment through the GovDeals online auction platform, resulting in net proceeds of $7,760. This request seeks to move these funds into the maintenance supplies budget in the general properties account to allow the department to purchase new supplies and equipment needed for the maintenance of town properties. This action will increase the maintenance supplies budget from its current level of $2,000 to a revised total of $9,760. Staff recommends that council approve the appropriation of $7,760 in unprogrammed revenue received from the sale of surplus equipment via GovDeals to the Public Works Maintenance Supplies expense account. Tonight, Town Council is requested to approve a budget amendment moving $7,760 into the revenue line item entitled Proceeds Sale of Assets and $7,760 in the expenditure line item identified as Maintenance Supplies.
All right. Do I hear a motion?
Motion.
Second.
Yep. Councilman Evans and Vice Mayor Updike. Any questions or comments? You good? All right, John?
Mr. Foster.
Aye.
Mr. Haley.
Aye.
Mr. Ippolito.
Aye.
Mr. Updike.
Aye.
Mr. Evans.
Aye.
Mr. Foreman.
Aye.
Mayor Stanley.
Aye.
Motion carries with all members voting aye.
Budget amendment, Autobus grant.
The town of Bedford has been awarded Phase 4 funding through the Virginia Department of Rail and Public Transportation for the continued operation and expansion of the Autobus transit service. This action item requests the budget appropriation for this grant. The Autobus service provides public transportation within the town. Phase 4 of this project continues the multi-year implementation strategy supported by the state. The total project cost for Phase 4 is $193,964, with the Bedford Community Health Foundation funding the required 20% local match. And in terms of council's priorities, this applies directly to the public services area there. Tonight, Town Council is requested to approve a budget amendment which will appropriate budget to the general ledger accounts as follows: an increase in the revenue line item identified as Autobus Phase 4 grant revenue of $155,171, an increase in the revenue line item identified as Autobus Phase 4 local match revenue of $38,793, an increase in the corresponding expenditure line items of Autobus Phase 4 grant expense in the same amount of $155,171 as the revenue, and Autobus Phase 4 local match expense of $38,793.
Okay. Motion?
So moved.
Second.
All right. Councilman Haley and Councilman Foreman, what questions do you have?
Well, I just want to thank the Bedford Community Health Foundation for paying this portion of it to match, because this has been going on since before I was chief of police, so I was involved in this process early, and I think it's a great asset to the town.
I think in one meeting I said before, this has been great for our citizens because people can go from one end of the town to the other. I think they do even have a bus goes up to D-Day some, what days, on Saturdays or something like that. So they do offer where you can reach from one side of town to the other when people, if they don't have the transportation or the ability to get from point A to point B. So this has been a great project since we began it. So
Yeah. I didn't realize, just how popular the service was. I mean, I heard numbers and stuff off and on, but during one of the other councils, there was an open house, not open house, town hall meeting at the community just below the hospital, and there were several people that talked about just how much they used the service, and it was like, all right, I'm glad we could provide that. This is awesome.
Mm-hmm.
No, this is a great thing, absolutely. I'm just curious, do we see that the state and the Health Foundation will continue, hopefully down the road?
Mr. Mayor, members of council, yes. So what we've applied for, the demonstration grant that you have currently now in phase 4 is one of the ones that the Department of Rail and Public Transportation has given us in order for us to continue the service until we could transition to the federal FTA 5311, which you have authorized our application for in this last cycle. So we didn't apply for demonstration grant in February. We applied for going fully federal. Now the problem with that is it's a 70-30 split. So the health department's, Community Health Foundation is going to have to pick up the 30, where it has been picking up the 20% of the match required for that. There's a lot more strings attached too, so you may hear some more information coming to you about requirements that we have to meet for the federal funding of that portion.
Thank you.
But the federal funding is more long-term, is that?
That's correct. That is correct. That's what other local transportation providers are using.
Okay.
This is to help us get to that point, the demonstration grants we've had.
And I guess phase 4 means it's been going on for 4 years?
Actually, longer than that. This has been federal, state funded in 4 phases, but it was privately funded by the Health Foundation prior to that time and jointly with the county.
Yeah. I totally support this. It's a great thing. I see people riding this bus every time I go by the bus. Someone's on it. In fact, I remember when it was first started, they gave us a tour on the bus around town and all that, and I took advantage of that. And at that moment, I thought, this is a great thing. It is something the town needs, and it's proven right that people do take advantage of it. So I hope it can continue.
They have a stop there at Food Line, and I've noticed a time or two when I've been up there when the bus is at that stop, the driver, they're always like real engaged with the riders and stuff, and it probably just enhances the experience there.
Right.
So again, I think it's an awesome service.
Yeah. All right. John?
Mr. Haley?
Aye.
Mr. Ippolito?
Aye.
Mr. Updike?
Aye.
Mr. Evans?
Aye.
Mr. Foreman?
Aye.
Mr. Foster?
Aye.
Mayor Stanley?
Aye.
Motion carries with all members voting aye.
All right, fiscal year 26, recoveries and rebates budget amendment. Mr. Warner.
As of February 25th, 2026, several recovery revenue items have been received in the various funds of the town. These recoveries are primarily from the town's insurance carrier, Virginia Risk Sharing Association, but also include other parties such as Bedford County and citizens. These items include recoveries for items such as damage to the Ford truck used for the cemetery, a 2019 Ford Interceptor used in patrol operations, batting cages at Liberty Lake Park, contribution towards the ball field project at Liberty Lake Park, donations for street banners, and advertisements for public hearings. The expenses related to these items have been or will be paid by the operating department. Staff is requesting a budget amendment to appropriate the revenue and expense of these items to the appropriate general ledger accounts, and this relates to the council priority established for infrastructure. Tonight, Town Council is requested to approve the attached budget amendment, which will appropriate money to various revenue line items in the general fund totaling $38,063. We also are asking for appropriation of $70,000 to a revenue item within the electric fund for recoveries and rebates. This would be allocated in expenditures as follows: $5,297 general properties, equipment, maintenance and repair; $21,288 for general properties, parks maintenance; $6,943 for general properties, parks maintenance; $135 toward town council's miscellaneous account; $645 toward other general town advertising; $3,755 for police department vehicle repair; and in the electric fund, $70,000 for new transformers.
All right, do I hear a motion?
So moved.
Vice Mayor Updike and Councilman Foreman. All right, discussion. What do you have to ask? Questions? Comments? No? John?
Mr. Polito.
Aye.
Mr. Updike.
Aye.
Mr. Evans.
Aye.
Mr. Foreman.
Aye.
Mr. Foster.
Aye.
Mr. Haley.
Aye.
Mayor Stanley.
Aye.
Motion carries with all members voting aye.
All right, fiscal year 26 budget amendment for Central Virginia Business Coalition sponsorship.
This request is to approve a budget amendment for the Central Virginia Business Coalition. While the contribution was originally allocated $5,000 in the adopted fiscal year 26 budget, sponsorship was subsequently elevated to a higher tier to ensure greater community visibility and support. This increase contributed towards Centerfest, parades, and potential new events by the CVBC. This action requires an appropriation of additional funds to the Central Virginia Business Coalition account for the $7,500 payment. Staff recommends utilizing remaining contingency funds for this purpose. Tonight, Town Council is requested to approve a budget amendment which will appropriate an expenditure increase of $2,500 to the Central Virginia Business Coalition line item and an expenditure decrease in the line item identified as contingency of a corresponding amount of $2,500.
So moved.
Amen. Councilman Haley and Councilman Ippolito. All right, what do you have on your mind? Any questions? Anything you're not sure about?
Yeah, I just wanted to ask, does this cover the whole, is this a calendar year, the 7,500, or do they operate on the same budget years we do?
I know we are billed on a fiscal year basis, so it's
Okay.
once every fiscal.
Okay, so this 2,500 will just last the rest of this fiscal year, okay.
It's based on, basically they do with Centerfest, Christmas parade, and hopefully a few other events as time goes on. But anything else? All right, Sean?
Mr. Updike.
Aye.
Mr. Evans.
Aye.
Mr. Foreman.
Aye.
Mr. Foster.
Aye.
Mr. Haley.
Aye.
Mr. Ippolito.
Aye.
Mayor Stanley.
Aye.
Motion carries with all members voting aye.
All right. Here's the one I tried to jump to here earlier. Fiscal year 26 budget amendment for emergency chiller replacement.
The existing HVAC chiller unit serving the main municipal building has suffered a catastrophic mechanical failure. Following a technical assessment by Public Works and our contractor Select Air, the unit has been deemed beyond economical repair due to its age and the extent of the damage. As this building houses essential government operations, public meeting spaces, and administrative offices, including our information technology infrastructure, a functional climate control system is critical for both the equipment preservation and the health and safety of staff and citizens. The estimated cost for the replacement unit, including expedited shipping and professional installation, is $30,000. Finance Department has identified two sources of unbudgeted revenue to cover this expenditure without impacting the general fund's existing contingency reserves. One, personal property tax surplus, which is revenues exceeding original fiscal year projections due to higher than anticipated vehicle valuations. And two, sale of assets, including proceeds from the final payment of the Chamber of Commerce building, which was transferred recently. Staff recommends approval of a budget amendment to proceed with issuing a notice of emergency award for the chiller purchase and repair, and of course this relates to your priority dealing with infrastructure. Tonight, Town Council is requested to approve the attached budget amendment, which will appropriate an increase in the revenue line item of current personal property taxes, $20,000, an increase in the revenue line item identified as proceeds from sale of assets of $10,000, and an increase in the expenditure line item entitled Municipal Building and Grounds of $30,000.
Is there a motion?
Motion.
All right. Councilman Evans and Councilman Haley. Questions?
Is the project going to be completed before the summer really gets hot?
The project will not begin before the summer gets hot.
Okay.
And to Mayor Stanley's comment, we did meet with Thompson and Litton. They came to our department head meeting to talk about the process and the schedule. I'll report that under a best-case scenario, the bidding for that project will take place in June or July. They will start working on the technical aspects and award the contract. The earliest that construction would begin would be August and would last for 9 months. We don't think it's going to be that quick. Also, we did explore the possibility of renting a chiller. That cost was actually $90,000, given the price for a crane to deliver and install it and then take it out. So it's very likely that in the course of the work that will be guided by Thompson and Litton, this chiller will be taken out at some point, at which time we will try to recover costs by selling it as surplus. But yeah, $30,000 we think gets us through the summer that we're facing, and maybe another year if we need it, but hopefully by next summer, there will be a plan to resolve the issues completely.
I will say, yeah, this is on the surface looks like a waste of money, which it probably is, but the health and safety of the employees has to come first. No one has, we all know you can't do a good job when you're sweating sitting at your desk or putting on other coats and jackets. That's not a good working environment. So this is.
So I was going to say, Mayor, what I can say is when I was in the police department, when that would fail, the humidity levels got extremely high.
Yeah.
And it was very hard on the police officers sitting down there
Yeah.
at those high humidity levels. So it is something that's important to fix for,
Yes, I
for
totally
our
agree.
employees.
And we've also just recently made a serious investment in our computer capabilities, and we don't need those things overheating either.
That was discussed, yes. So it's a lot of work that is going into this, and I think we'll see good results.
Protect our investment.
There you go.
And like I always said, moving forward, there are other issues that we'll probably have to address down the road or whatever. But we think about our employees first, so that's the key point.
That's right. All right, Sean?
Mr. Evans?
Aye.
Mr. Foreman?
Aye.
Mr. Foster?
Aye.
Mr. Haley?
Aye.
Mr. Ippolito?
Aye.
Mr. Updike?
Aye.
Mayor Stanley?
Aye.
Motion carries with all members voting aye.
Well, I don't believe there is anything else to come before council that I'm aware of, so this meeting is adjourned.